Michael Parks is the owner and CEO of Daystar Photography LLC, a veteran-owned professional photography, videography, and drone services company serving Atlanta, Tampa, and Orlando. He is the official photographer for Syracuse University's Daniello Institute for Veterans and Military Families and proudly serves as a brand ambassador for IVMF's Ambassador Program. Throughout his career, Michael has traveled nationwide documenting major veteran and corporate events, working with nationally recognized organizations including Wounded Warrior Project, USAA, JP Morgan Chase, and Amazon. Michael is also a retired Supervisory Federal Air Marshal with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, serving honorably from January 2002 to November 2023. His service took him to more than 50 countries and over 350 destinations worldwide. Prior to his federal service, Michael served over 12 years in the United States Air Force, where he built deep expertise as a K-9 handler and program manager.
Welcome to the MilCom Founders Podcast, where we champion and celebrate military community business founders. In each episode, we will talk with a MilCom business founder to learn how they work through various obstacles and opportunities in business and in life. I'm your host, Rod Loches. Let's meet today's guest. Welcome, everyone. Today on the MilCom Founders Podcast, we get to champion and celebrate Michael Parks while hopefully educating and inspiring other military community founders. Michael, welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Rod. I appreciate you having me here.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, Michael, it's what's your ideal morning? What does your ideal morning look like when you wake up? What do you have a routine? What gets you going in the morning?
I do. I'm an avid coffee person. So usually, once I get up in the morning, I grab, my mom have two small puppies, and I grab those two and I take them out and let them just walk and just, see the sunshine and just let them do their business. I used to come back in the house. I used to go grab my mocha pot and grind me some fresh grounds and make me some coffee. And I usually go out on the lanai, which is a, screened in place on your back porch. And I just sit out there and I just thank God for just another day. My bones are not broken. I'm able to walk. I'm able to see. I'm in sound mind. So I just go out there and I just say thank you and just relax for about 30 minutes. That
Nice.
usually gives me motivation. And then I come in and hop on the computer and just start punching out emails and responding to different messages I receive either the day before or that morning. And I just relax as much as I can before I get into the grind of just thinking about what I got to do for veterans that day, what I got to do to support them, what meetings I have. And I just get stuff sorted out that way.
Fantastic. It's a good way to ground your day in your coffee, right?
Yes.
That's for sure.
Pun intended.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't even mean it, but it was a good one. I was like, I got to go with that one.
Yeah.
So what are three things that are important to you as a person? I think you just said a couple of them in reference, but what are the
Yes.
three most important things that you value the most?
For the first thing I value is I value how I was raised, my foundation. My foundation, I am a born again Christian. I believe the foundations and everything I was taught. I believe in those, and that usually is my number one foundation. Number two is probably how I treat people. I'm very sensitive about hurting someone's feelings or offending them. So I'm always, cognizant about what I say and how I treat people. That's the biggest thing for me because in my mind, I have so much love to give and I want to have that same love returned to me. So that way we both can thrive or whoever I come in contact with. And I think the third one is just the love and appreciate life. That's probably my biggest thing is love and appreciate life. Um, life only given to you once while you're here. So I think that, everyone should appreciate it and take advantage of it and live life to the fullest as much as they can.
Yeah. I've known you for a couple of years now through IVMF, and I'm so grateful for IVMF for introducing me to so many wonderful people. But I
Yes.
would say that in getting to know you, Michael, is intentional love is what I would
Yes.
say that I feel and see and uh, see you share with people, that you're intentional
Yes.
with your love and sharing your love. That's for sure. So thank you so much for all that you do for the veteran community and the way you go about doing it. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. So you're a young man, and why in the world did you ever join the military? Tell me about that thought. How did that come about? Uh,
Well, I think I had a foundation from a child, being born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, my entire life. We traveled while I was growing up in Atlanta. My dad was actually active duty Army, and him and my mom were married. Actually, they got married twice because they believe in the foundations and of love and sanctuary. So they actually married twice, and so I saw a lot of his foundation. I saw a lot of things that the military offered and the opportunities, and I kind of wanted to be a part of those opportunities and see where would it take me. So um, growing up in high school and playing football my entire life and basketball and being an athlete, I love the structure that the military had. So
yeah.
that was probably my biggest option was the structure, the camaraderie, the teamwork. So that was probably one of my biggest things that I wanted to accomplish. So I knew the military was going to help me do that. It was going to be, to me, I called it the best of both worlds. I was going to get a chance to travel and make money at the same time.
Uh huh.
So I jumped on it, the opportunity, joined the military my senior year of high school, and I left 3 days after graduation, and the rest is
Yeah.
history. Yeah,
Wow. And which force did you join? What,
I joined the
did you
Air
join
Force. I
Air
joined the
Force?
Air Force.
Okay.
You know
Got it.
what? The army was never really a choice. My dad used to always say, "If you're gonna join the military, don't join the army." Don't the old school guys already, they always said that. So the Air Force was one of my first choice. I
Yeah.
originally, and I tell people this all the time. I originally signed a football scholarship to the U.S. Coast Guard Academy,
Oh
but
my gosh.
yeah, so I flew up to do a tour of the campus in New London, Connecticut
Yeah.
in early February. Did not realize you live in Atlanta, Georgia, it's in the 60s and
Sorry.
70s,
Uh-huh.
and you go up to New London, Connecticut, and snows up to your waist, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I can't take this." So when I got back, I spoke to an Air Force recruiter, and he kept trying to get me to join the Air Force. So I bartered with him. I said, "Listen, if you can get me out of this or help me, assist me to get out of this scholarship at the Coast Guard Academy, I joined the Air Force." And you know what? He pulled some strings, he made some things happen, and I ended up signing with the US Air Force.
Wow. And so you went and enlisted to the Air Force instead of
Yes,
going
went and
to
enlisted
Coast Guard.
as E3
Uh huh.
because I've already had the foundation. I had junior ROTC in high school.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So back then, if you did, I think
Yeah.
4 years or more, 4 years in junior ROTC, then that automatically qualify you for E3. So I came in the
I
Air
see.
Force as an E3,
Uh
and
huh.
that gave me a leg up, which I'm thankful about, and the rest is history.
Yeah. It's funny because I went to the Coast Guard recruiter. I'm a boater, lifetime boater. Natalie in the audience has heard this story before, but I called the Coast Guard and says, "Hey, what scholarships do you have, or what salt, whatever?" The guy just laughed. He says, "Son, you joined the Coast Guard. You joined the Coast Guard. We don't need to give scholarships out." And I thought, "Oh," so I joined the Army where I did get a scholarship. But
Outstanding.
yeah, so it worked out great. But so, did you retire from the Air Force, or
No, funny story, and I'm full of stories, so forgive me if I get a little too long when I try to keep it short as possible.
no? It's good.
I didn't retire from the Air Force. I did a total of about 12 and a half years. My journey was, I was a K-9 handler. So I'm always traveling, going TDY. I did a total of 9.5 active duty. So I never forget, I had just got back from my first deployment downrange to Kuwait, working a bomb dog. I get back and I'm home for 2 weeks in Atlanta because I was stationed in South Georgia at Moody Air Force Base. and I'm on leave, relaxing a little bit, coming back from the war. And my first sergeant called me and said, "Hey, pick a choice. We got a choice for you,
Uh-huh.
Bush or Gore." And I was like, "Excuse me?" He was like, "Bush
What?
or Gore?" And I was like, Gore. At the time he was the vice president, active. He was the
Yeah.
active vice president. He said, "Okay, your Secret Service needs some help during the campaign season. This is 2000, and
Wow.
we just assigned you to his detail for 90 days." So I said, "No problem." So I go back down to South Georgia, grab my bomb dog, and I start traveling with Al Gore across the country on his campaign trail. And I never
Amazing.
forget, we're in Florida State University, and I had already was thinking about transitioning, out the Air Force and trying to wanted to make more money and just try different things. And I never forget, I'm standing at Florida State University and he's doing his speech, vice president doing his speech, and I'm in the lobby with a couple other of the Secret Service bomb dog handlers. And one of them's complaining about, "Oh, this is, even though it's his campaign year, I'm only at, 130, 140." And I'm like, 130,
Uh-huh.
140 what? And he was like,
Sorry.
1,000. I said, "Hold on. How long have you been a bomb dog handler for Secret Service?" He said, "Oh, about 4 years." I
Uh-huh.
said, "And you're complaining about making $140,000 a year?" I said,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, I sign me up for this." I said, "Here I am,
Uh-huh.
a 8.5 year veteran, been to multiple deployments, working different types of dogs, from drug dogs to bomb dogs." I said, "I'm making 20 some $1,000s a year as an E5." I said, "No, I got to get out and make some of this money." And that was one of the things that catapulted me out of the Air Force and joined the civilian sector.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. And so in business and
Hmm.
so much of us, we learn so much from our time in the military.
Yes.
Um, and I have a whole conversation I want to have about the dogs because my wife has a service dog, helps her
Okay.
with mobility,
Outstanding.
and they're just amazing. The service dogs are absolutely just a gift, and your working dogs. I mean, they're amazing. So, but I'll put that away for a moment. Try to at
Okay.
least.
I got you. No problem.
But tell me about what are a couple of the learnings that you had when you were in the military that you used with Daystar Photography that stuck with you and you use, and it's kind of a foundational learning that you've always
So one of the things that I learned in the military is that people, let's say customers, like to see that you're focused and that you really want to please them and give them the best product that they're going to spend their money on. So
had. Uh-huh.
that's what I learned, doing my business. And in the military, I learned that through one of my dogs. A lot of my dogs that I worked over the years, they were so loyal and they were so focused on what I was doing so that way we can work great as a team because they want to satisfy. They wanted to just, give love and get love in return. So they would do anything to show me that, hey, we're a team and I need love and I want to show you that I love you and I support you. So I
Yeah.
took that mentality and I transferred it to my business. The first thing I've learned was when I started my business is that do not treat people as transactions. Treat people as family. So
Yes.
whenever clients reach out to me or clients want to have a conversation about the business, I cater to their needs because I let them know a lot of times this is not about business. This is about making you happy and making your family happy because this is something that's going to support you now to eternity with digital format that we have in photography. So
Yeah.
I just
Absolutely.
transferred that same mentality over to what I'm doing now to show them that, hey, we're family now. I'm taking your pictures. You're telling me what you want and what you need. I want you to be happy. You show me love
Yeah.
in return, and it's like a circle. I just believe in just bringing every single client into my circle, and we work well together like that. So that's always been my philosophy, and I learned those from the dogs. I learned those from
Isn't that
because
amazing?
there's a saying that, when we was coming up, as young men and children, that a dog is a man's best friend. And there's a reason why people say that, or that colloquialism was used, back in the day. And I truly saw that with my own eyes, and it made me a believer that, and I want to be that to my clients. I want to be that friend. I want to be that person that whenever they think of photography or just think about life things, call me up. Let's talk. What do you need? I will help you. I will assist you. So that's what I transferred
Absolutely.
over to my
That's
business.
amazing. You really do have to love the people that you serve, I believe.
Yes.
Like I love business founders, especially veteran business founders. And it makes the challenging moments. What business has challenging moments? None, right? It's all perfect and it's all easy, right? But we got to love our clients if we're going to be able to serve them effectively,
100%.
efficiently, and all those things. That's a really cool story. Dogs are a big part of our life. I used to take my oldest daughter to the dog pound to walk dogs when she was like 3 years old. And
Why?
she used to tell people that she was going to be a doggy doctor. And now she's 3 weeks away from passing her final exams to be a doggy doctor.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it's
Outstanding.
been a really,
Congratulations.
she's known since she was 2 or 3 years old, since we were walking through the dog pounds, taking dog after walk. I want to be a doggy doctor. So really neat to see that she's been able to blaze her own trail and make that happen. So it's been really cool to see. So now, Michael, these things called officers and NCOs and
Yes.
these men and women we worked for back in the military, what's one of those leaders that you remember? What did you learn from one of those NCOs or officers that you worked with a lot? Something, a memorable
So
leader.
I had a, and I have multiple dog stories. So this is a dog story that
Uh-huh.
from a captain. We had a captain when I was in Kuwait during the war, and he loved dogs. So he would always come to the dog kennels and just sit and talk with us. Now, in the kennels downrange, we have compounds where no one can get in, no one can get
Yeah.
out because we have the dogs that are the attack dogs that are inside the kennels, the bomb dogs slash attack dogs, excuse me. And he will always come to the kennels and talk, and always come to the kennels and talk. And I was like, okay, this guy, he seems pretty nice. So I'll never forget one day I was working at what we call it at the search pit. So the search pit downranges whenever doing war is connected to the base, but it's separate, maybe like a half a mile away. So that's the beginning of people coming in and going outside the base. So during the search pit, anything that comes on base, we have to take the bomb dogs and we search them on there. Water trucks, food trucks, any type of vehicles, any passengers that come through there, you have to get cleared at the search pit first with the bomb dogs, and then we will let you on base or off base, both.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget. I was doing a search one day, and I think that all of the policemen that was there working with us, they knew um, whenever they see a dog sit, that was the key. If a dog sit, that means he's alerting on something. And they knew we had explosive dogs. So I never forget, I'm searching this giant water buffalo vehicle that came on base. And I take my dog and I start around the front left past driver's side. And my dog just starts sniffing really hard, and he goes around to the back of the vehicle and he sits and look at me. Now, I'm like, don't you
Yeah.
embarrass me. And so I look at the other cops that was there at the gates along with this captain. We was all there just having a conversation, and everybody's staring at me. So I said, "Come on, boy." So I yanked my dog a little bit, pulled him off the odor. I said, "Okay, let me, take him outside of the odor trail and reintroduce him back to the vehicle, and then come around because he's probably just having a bad day." So I do that, and I go back around the truck, and he just pulls me to the rear of the truck, and he sits. So I knew that he have hit on some type of explosive that's trying to make it into the compound. And by this time, I look to the left and I see about 20 of the cops running full speed, just running away from the search pit. And I'm like, uh-oh. And that captain is actually standing there and said, "I'm not going to leave you. What do you want me to do?" So I told him, I said, "Captain, take your hat. We have the covers
Sure.
in our uniforms." I said, "Take your cover. I need you to drop it near the rear of this back wheel with my dog alerted, and I want you to walk with me very, very slow." So the whole time, he didn't walk in front of me. He didn't walk behind me. He walked right beside me and said, "Hey, I'm with you the whole way. I'm with you the whole way, and I'm with you the whole way."
Wow.
And that really, really, really stuck with me. So once we got to the cleared area, we contacted the base commander. We contacted the EOD, the explosive ordnance guys at the engineering company. They sent over some EOD, and it was a positive hit for like 1,500 pounds of RDX explosive that someone tried to. So that stuck with me because when I looked up, everybody ran except that captain. And he told me, "I'm not going to leave you. If something's going to happen, we're going to go together, brother." And
Wow.
that actually showed me that, Michael, there's people out here that God has put in your life that's going to support you, that's going to be with you along with your dog.
Yeah.
Just trusted me. And that was something that stuck with me. And I never forget this guy. I lost contact with him once I came back to the States. I've searched and searched and searched for him, but I have a feeling that I'm going to find him one day and just tell him
Yeah.
how much I appreciated him standing by me and supporting me during that time. So,
What was his name?
Captain Johns, Jons
Gosh.
Johns. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Captain Johns.
That'd be
I'll never forget his name
hard.
because it was unique. You hardly ever
Yeah.
find somebody last name Johns. They use their first name, but not the last name. So his name was Captain Johns, Jons, and he was a farmer from, I think he was from Iowa. He
Huh?
was in Iowa. He grew up on a farm in Iowa, and the Air Force was his dream. And he was just a humble person, and that always stuck with me. I never told this. This is the first time I ever told this story. First time I ever
Oh my
told this
gosh.
story. I never tell stories about my time during the wars that I've deployed to with my dogs because
Mhm.
I've seen a lot, and sometimes it's not
Yeah.
really, but
Yeah.
this right here is a memorable moment right now, and I think I just wanted to share that with you and your audience and let them know that no matter what situation you're in, no matter where you at, I think God always places somebody there with you to support you and let you
Mhm.
know that He's real and He's got your back.
Yeah, courage and commitment, that's for sure. Oh gosh, we were reading from the old Bible this morning. Gosh, right after Ezekiel, Daniel,
Yes,
chapter 3 this morning. And there were three men that were following Daniel's subordinates, whatever, and they were ordered to be thrown into the fire, into the
yes,
furnace.
yes,
And so they were thrown into the furnace, and then the Nebuchadnezzar looks in the furnace, and there are four people.
yes,
There are four people, and Nebuchadnezzar says, "Oh my gosh, it is the real God." And those men walk back out. I got chills just now. And those three men came back out of there, and he says, "Okay, well, I'm following your God, not this gold thing I made."
yes, yes.
Unbelievable, unbelievable
Shadrach,
story.
Meshach, and Abednego. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Yes,
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, yes, yes,
yes,
that's oh my gosh, that's exactly right. So
yeah.
it was a wonderful story this morning, that's for sure. So, wow, okay. Hey, sorry for asking all the questions, but this is why I love doing this. But
Mhm.
tell me, you go from being a field marshal and a working with the working dogs as a field
Yes.
marshal. Why not just retire? Why start Daystar Photography? Why? How did that come about?
So,
I think I know the answer.
yeah, just to give you a little background, I'm out of the military. I'm working as a supervisory Federal Air Marshal for the Department of Homeland Security. I'm traveling the world, and the more I travel the world, the more countries I go to, I just see how beautiful the world is.
Mm,
I see how beautiful the
yeah,
towns and the city and the people are across the world. And I remember my mom's like, "Okay, well, you've been flying a lot, you've been traveling a lot. I think it's time to take a vacation." So I was like, "No problem." And so we go on a vacation to Destin, Florida. I never forget this. So we go on a vacation to Destin, Florida.
beautiful
So my
place.
mom's like, beautiful. I love Destin. I love Destin. So my mom's like, well, I haven't been on the dolphin tour before. So they have using the evening when the dolphins come out. So they have a glass bottom boat company that you pay to get on, and you go on the glass bottom boat, and it takes you out on a cove, and you see the dolphins swimming around, and people out there taking pictures. So we get on this glass bottom boat, and The sunset's beautiful. It's just perfect evening. And this guy is on there with his wife and like 3 young daughters. And he's got this big giant Nikon camera with this big lens on it. And he's just taking
Uh-huh.
pictures. So I'm not even paying attention to the dolphins. I'm staring at this guy's camera like, oh my God. Oh my God. And it just intrigues me so much. My mom noticed it. She noticed it. And she didn't say anything. Of course, the wisdom that our parents have sometimes.
Yes.
So she didn't say anything. So the tour was great. We get back, to the hotel room, we relaxed that night. And then a couple of days later, we go back to Atlanta from the vacation. So
Hmm.
about 4 months later, Christmas come around and, we have Christmas with family members and everybody over. And she said, well, open up your present, Michael. And I open it up and it's a Nikon camera that she bought
Oh,
from Sam Club. It's a kit camera and
uh-huh.
the whole nine. And my eyes just lit up. And I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
And she's telling, family members of my sister, see, I told you he's gonna like it. I saw it in his face when we was in
Uh-huh.
Destin. So she noticed that. So she
Wow.
actually lit that fire under me on becoming a photographer, and that was all I needed. So I did that. She encouraged me to open up my own business and just try things out. So I opened up an LLC. She encouraged me to use my GI Bill. She said, why don't you go back to school? You have GI Bill money. Use that. Go back to
Hmm.
school and learn, the proper fundamentals. Learn how to use it. Learn how to do it professionally. And
Yeah.
I did. I went to night school at the Art Institute of Atlanta for commercial photography. I worked as an air marshal during the day. Whenever I would either land and come home, or if I had an early day, I would go to night school and
Yeah.
I learned the craft and the trade, and it blew up and it took off, and that was my foundation of becoming a photographer and serving.
Yeah. It's really interesting because the whole theme throughout our conversation has been one of love, love
Yes,
of people and people loving others, like your mom.
yes,
Um, Sharp eye. My moms do this. They see and they understand.
yes,
They understand us better than we understand ourselves, I think.
yes,
And she understood her son and her love, his
yes.
love of what could be. And so tell me more about Daystar Photography. How have you used Daystar Photography? It almost seems like an extension of your superpower, but I won't finish your story for you.
I've okay. So again, never have expressed anyone or told this story about Daystar Photography. So my first thing from my foundation on how I was raised, I wanted to thank God for life, health, and strength, and I wanted to dedicate something to Him. So I was thinking of names of naming Daystar Photography, and it's just funny. One day I was reading my Bible and I ran across a scripture, and it talks about one of Jesus. Jesus had multiple names in the Bible from the Old Testament to the New Testament. Daystar popped in my head once I read the scripture. And I was like, oh my God, Daystar. I said, you know what? God, I'm gonna name this business Daystar Photography.
Mm,
In honor of you on what you've done for me and how you helped me and assisted me and just comfort me during my times of need. And that's it, Daystar Photography. So I've taken that name, I've taken the logo. My colors are purple and yellow, which represents royalty from the Bible. And I just dedicated it to everything I do to God. I want to make him happy on all my work, and I'm kind of a enthusiast when it comes to my work. I want my work to be flawless. I want my work to shine. I want my work to stand
uh-huh.
out. So I take the honor on him allowing me to do that. I've always prayed before every single photography session. I pray. If I'm in the studio, everybody I'm shooting with, whether or not they're Christians or not, I let them know I need you guys for a moment of silence by your heads, and I say a prayer because I believe that's my foundation on what I do and how I do. I believe God gives me the eyes to see what I'm shooting and how he wants me to shoot. I believe he gives me the ears to listen to what's around me to help guide me when I'm shooting. And that's my dedication. So Daystar Photography is what I love. It's what I cherish and what I do. And I love it. I've been blessed to work with so many major corporate 100 companies and businesses. I've been blessed to be, the lead photographer at Syracuse University for about 7 years now. I've been blessed to shoot for, the Military Influencer Conference, which is the largest conference, military conference in the country. I've been blessed to travel across the world just doing photography, and I thank him for every minute, every single penny he's given to me,
Yeah,
to bless me and my business and my household.
that's wonderful. Man, I tell you, I feel like it's a mic drop moment there, but I got more questions. If you can deal with
Yeah,
me for
come
about 10
on,
more minutes, I
come on,
mean,
brother.
that's just amazing. To me, it's what Daystar is, an amplification of your love and service to people in Christ. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being willing to share your whole heart with us here. So you do Daystar, and it's obviously going well for you and your clients. But what's this thing called Vets Fest? What's that about?
So, Vet Fest,
Vet
um,
Fest. Sorry.
yeah, Vet Fest. Vet Fest is a slogan that I came up with to represent a festival celebrating veterans. So about 3 years ago, the first year I became an IVMF, the Institute for Veteran Military Family
Sure.
Ambassador. They said, "Hey, go out and conquer. You have the tools, you have our image and likeness, you have everything you need. You have the support from our entrepreneurship team, you have support from my alumni team. Go out and do something to help serve and uplift the community of veterans and their family members." And I was talking with the team of Atlanta personnel, and I was like, "Well, you guys help me come up with a concept of logo. I want to celebrate veterans. I want to do something to let them know that we're listening to them. We want to serve them. We want to give them all the resources that we can." So I came up with the concept of Vet Fest, and that was 2025. No, 2024. And I began contacting everyone who I have had previously been encountered with in the veteran community. I contact people that was in the government contracting realm. I contact people that was that worked at the VA. I contacted
Yeah.
people that was in the capital realm that would help assist with capital and banking and finance for veterans and their family members. I contacted people that was in the healthcare industry. I contacted so many different people, and I said, "Listen, I want to host a festival, a 5 hour, 6 hour festival just to celebrate our veterans. I don't want the veterans and their family members to pay for anything. I don't want to inconvenience them. I want them to come and we give them as many resources as we can to help them and assist them in their livelihood, in their businesses, in their homes, with their families." And my team got together and we hosted the first Vet Fest in Atlanta 2024, and we had over 300 people show up,
Wow.
and it was
The
the
first
first
time.
time we did that, and it was beautiful. Yes, first time it was beautiful. We had a lot of different people, a very vast, diverse amount of people from all the six branches of the military. We had a lot of retirees. We had a lot of people that was in World War II, World Korean War that showed up. We had people from the Vietnam era, from the Gulf War era, and it was just lovely. A lot of people met each other. It was just like old school military camaraderie. And
Fantastic.
we had a lot of sponsors from Amazon. We had sponsors from Fiserv. We had sponsors from a lot of different businesses that showed up and just let the community know that they supported us. So the next year, I said, "Okay, either go big or go home. We want to make it even bigger." So we had Vet Fest 2025 last year. Uh, One of our ambassadors, Grover Henry, had a contact at the Georgia Aquarium, which is the
Oh, great.
largest indoor aquarium in the world. And we made contact with them. We told them what our vision was. We let them know what we wanted to do and how much would they charge us for their 15,000 square foot event space that they had inside the aquarium. They said nothing. As long as you're serving veterans and you're taking care of veterans, we won't charge you for the space.
Wow.
And that was another blessing. That was another blessing. So then we had Vet Fest 2025. We had over 550 people show up this time. So the numbers are growing each year. Each year, I've had speakers, I've had special guest celebrities, I had different people fly in from
Yeah.
across the country just to support our veterans in Vet Fest. So this year, we're working on Vet Fest 2026, and the theme is going to be on healthcare and wellness, AI, and tech. And so those are the three categories within our
Mm.
ecosystem in Atlanta. And also, just to
And when is it?
expound that,
I need to know when to book my ticket.
we're working on the date now. So we're looking at maybe the end of August or early September.
Okay.
That fest have gotten so of a big name across the country now that I'm actually in talks right now with the Tampa veteran community on working on Vet Fest Tampa 2026. And we're talking with Charleston, the city of Charleston, South Carolina. And we're talking about hosting a Vet Fest Charleston 2026. We want to take it into places. We've spoken to Denver about, maybe coming to Denver and Houston. So it's just a festival that represents veterans for veterans by veterans. And we're excited about the move that it's making and the things that we're accomplishing within that realm.
Absolutely. That is very exciting, Michael. And thank you for having the courage and the commitment to do that. And that is really cool. What's a piece of advice as we're getting ready to wrap up here? But what's
Mhm.
a piece of advice or thought that you'd like to share with our community? Something that you think is important for business owners, veteran business owners.
Yes.
What's that one thing that you wish you'd known earlier?
I think the biggest thing is that how to balance your entrepreneurship time with personal life. Because, the military teaches us, think about some of the slogans that they had back in the 70s and 80s and 90s. The Army, be all you can be. The Air Force, aim high. The Marines, the few, the proud, the Marines. So it teaches you to have honor and pride in what you do and be the best at what you can be. So the first 4 years of me within my business, I wanted to be the best photographer ever. In the morning, the first thing on my mind was grabbing my camera and going out and shooting butterflies or shooting, things
Uh-huh.
outside and just taking it with me. Before I went to bed, I always was looking in the back of my camera, what pictures I could have made better, so I always focused on that. And then after about 4 years, I got to the point where I was like, hold on, Michael, you're not balancing life with the
Uh,
entrepreneurship. It's okay to be the best at what you do, and you want to give your clients the best product you can, but also understand that you have to give yourself time. You have to give yourself grace to love your family and do things that's going to support you so you can have that energy to put towards your business. So
yeah.
any entrepreneur, young entrepreneur, older entrepreneur, senior entrepreneur, if you want to be an entrepreneur, there's a work-life balance that I suggest that you try to accomplish. If you're going to work on your business for that day, take at least an hour of personal time to devote to something that's meaningful to you. Family, if you got to go fishing, if you got to go outside and just read a book, don't always give that entrepreneurship spirit that you have, don't always feed it every minute of your time. Learn
Yeah.
to have a work-life balance. And I will tell anybody that learn to have a work-life balance. The business is not going to go anywhere, but you can never get back the time that you've been given. So cherish the time that you have to devote it to yourself and your family and to your community.
Fantastic. Hey, last question. What's a resource that you think that that every business owner should be using or be aware of? Is it IVMF? Is it? Give me a couple
Yes.
resources,
So
books. What do you
uh,
think it is?
again, there's a couple authors out there. Lisa Ducharme, which is a retired veteran in Massachusetts. She has a couple outstanding books that I suggest that every veteran read. Every veteran entrepreneur in America should read. She has foundations that usually people don't talk about when it comes to entrepreneurship. They always tell you about the glory and the glitz and the glamour of becoming an
Mhm.
entrepreneur and things to be great for you, but they never talk about things that you need to do on the backside that you have to take care of first so you can have all the glory and glitz. So I love her books. Also, I tell people to watch a lot of shows. There's a show that used to be out called The Prophet. You remember that show used to
Yeah.
be out, Prophet? The guy used to talk about the wisdom on the money that you bring into your business. What are you doing with it? That show was one of the best shows that I learned when it comes to managing money,
Yeah.
because money can make you or break you, whether or not you're bringing a lot of money in or whether or not you don't have that much coming in. It can still make you or break you. So those are my two things that I would tell people is Lisa Ducharme. I will send you her info so you can put it maybe
Thank you.
inside the link so people can
Absolutely.
contact her with her books. Her books are amazing. And also, go on to Amazon and just Google The Prophet and just watch some of his shows. We all want to be financial stable. We all want to have something or legacy leave towards our family, but you have to learn how to manage it so that way you can do that. So his shows
Yeah.
are phenomenal pieces of work, and I really enjoyed watching every last episode, and I learned a lot from him.
That's fantastic. Hey, Michael, I want to say thank you so much for being on the show today. Is there one question I should have asked you that I haven't asked you, actually? I forgot to ask that. Is there something I should have asked about?
I just tell people that if you're a veteran, if you're a veteran spouse, or if you're a family member of a veteran, I just tell people to honor and love each other. I tell people all the time, it takes a certain type of mentality for someone to go and raise their right hand and say, I'm going to turn over everything about me to this military and I'm going to serve and protect.
Yeah.
So I think that every veteran, every spouse of a veteran, every child that live with their veteran parents and traveled the country, went to multiple schools, went through
Yeah.
multiple transitions, that they deserve to be acknowledged. They deserve to be treated with pride and respect because they had the mentality to say, I do. And to me, I tell America, just honor the ones that honored you because they did it. I call them quiet professionals. We did it. We was
Yeah.
professionals, but we was quiet about it. We didn't tell everybody that, hey, I want to join the Air Force. I want to join the Army. We just
It,
went and did it.
yeah,
So
you're
just
right.
honor them.
It's funny because I call my wife is a quiet warrior.
Yes.
She's so tough as she deals with her physical challenges that she has from her spinal cord injury. My daughter, Sarah, the soon to be veterinarian,
Mhm.
she's a quiet warrior. She goes about and much it reminds me of the quiet warriors from our
Mhm.
military. And they remind me of them, and I honor them by
Yes.
calling them quiet warriors. That's for sure. Hey, Michael, thank you for such an inspiring conversation today. I very much appreciate it. And to honor our conversation, we're going to donate $100 to the MilCom Founders Scholarship Fund. That's for a kid.
Standing. I thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's for a kid to attend either college or trade school, whichever he or she wants.
Yes.
But it's just our way of sharing and giving back. So
I thank you so much. I thank you so much, Roy. I appreciate you and your staff. God bless your family. I thank you for doing what you're doing to give veterans and people the platform to come out and just speak and talk about who they are and their foundations. That means a lot. And what you're doing, it would not go unnoticed. And I pray for you daily, and I thank God for you and your family, and just speak blessings on you and your family.
thank you so much, Michael. Thanks for joining us on the MilCom Founders Podcast. If you know a MilCom founder with a story to share, reach out to us at milcomfounders.com. For each guest on our show, One Degree Financial donates $100 to the Dick Wojcik Veteran Entrepreneur Scholarship Fund, supporting education for children of a MilCom business owner. Stay ready.